What is up, everybody? Welcome back to episode 71 of Think Twice, the magic and pop culture show hosted by me, Justin Parnell, and my co-host, Ollie Untitled.
Turkey Day has passed us, but it hasn't, because we're recording the past. So Parnell, how's your Turkey Day, even though you haven't had it yet?
Well, I can tell you, I'm sick, as you can probably tell from the sound of my voice, and the enthusiasm that I led in that intro with. And me coughing off to stage right of the microphone.
So we can assume your Thanksgiving went smashingly well?
Excuse me. Well, I'm probably going to be sick tomorrow still. So we'll see. Hopefully I start feeling better, and hopefully it was great. But right now, I was probably sick.
Okay. All right. Well,
how was yours?
I'm gonna be eating with family, and then I had the best stream of my life on Thanksgiving, where everyone watched.
I totally watched that stream.
Yeah, it was great. That got played was sweet.
Man, I can't believe if you're listening to this podcast and you didn't watch it. You should definitely go back and subscribe so you can go back and watch the video.
Exactly. So, is there anything on Thanksgiving that you look forward to, like food-wise? Anything in like particular that's only on Thanksgiving or special? Or not really?
Honestly, not really, because I'm not a turkey guy. I'm a ham guy.
Yeah.
Like, I like the ham more than I like the turkey.
Yeah, because you go ham, swine, skillet.
Yeah, no one goes turkey. That just means you go to sleep.
Well, I can't go turkey or I die. I found out.
You get stuck in your throat.
Yeah, I found out a couple Thanksgivings ago that
I remember
I
that.
am allergic to turkey.
Yep.
And if I eat it, my
throat swells up and it gets
yeah.
Your throat loves turkey so much it wants to hold on to that turkey in the middle of it.
Yeah,
forever
to the point where
and
I
ever.
can't breathe. Yeah, I just randomly developed a turkey allergy that I don't know I didn't have before. But anyways, I don't eat turkey. I eat everything else.
Yeah.
Except carbs too, though. But I used to love candied yams. Like my family never did candied yams.
Yeah, that's a real white thing, real white Southern thing for sure.
Yeah, I had an ex that her grandparents did that.
Yeah,
and I miss those.
They're old white Southern people, right?
They are old white Southern.
Yeah, that's what candied yams are. That's my family. I love a crisp stuffing. Like, I don't want it mushy. Like, I want it.
Yeah.
I want it soft on the inside, but I want the edges like
too
crispy. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah. It's good stuff. Good stuff.
And good dessert. You have to have good dessert.
Yeah. I gave up not eating sweets. I did that for about 2 months, and then Parker's birthday was last weekend, and I was just like, whatever. I'm gonna just eat this cake that I just bought.
Yeah. You're to fitness. This whole cake in my mouth.
Well, I did fitness one piece of this cake in my mouth at least.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Good. That's good enough. It's good enough to knock you out of the no sweet diet.
Yeah, I did it for 2 months. It was pretty good. I lost no weight. So
nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I lost a pound
to old age.
Technically,
Welcome
but
to old age.
But maybe I pooped that day, so maybe I didn't lose a pound. Who knows? It's tough to tell.
Knows? It's true.
You guys know, like, talk about poop on Think Twice every now and then. It's okay. Everyone poops. Everybody poops.
Even dogs.
And
they're like angels, so.
So the other thing that I did was had our board game day, and we played the board game. It's not, I guess, kind of board game. It's a deck building game called Shards of Infinity. It is made by Stoneblade, which is the same people that make Ascension. And it's a deck building game, and it's like Ascension, except you interact with your opponents everyone starts with like 50 life, and you get cards to attack your opponents.
Huh, okay.
And you try to attack everyone down to 0. So it's
kind of cool.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Well, speaking of board games, I actually went to Parker Banner and played with Dalton and friends.
Nice.
We played the Marvel game, or not Marvel game, Hail Hydra.
Yeah.
And
you played that at my house for the first time, right?
I did. Yep.
Yeah.
They have, but when we played, you know how we played when we cast our votes and everyone said, okay, I'm gonna put a 3 in, I put -3 in, I put -2 in, whatever.
When
We couldn't do that.
when you what now?
You know when you secretly put the +4 attack or -4 attack
Yeah.
cards. Remember when we played? We said what number we put
No,
in?
no, we didn't. No, we didn't.
Oh, we didn't.
No, you can't do that. That's against the rules.
Okay, well, anyways,
The only thing you can say is this is good or this is bad, and that's all.
right, but after it flipped, you claim which you put in and what you didn't put in. And
No,
then
we
make a
did
bluff.
that in the voting period.
Oh, well, regardless, whenever we did that, that wasn't allowed at all. It was kind of like it was weird. It made it much harder because not being able to say what number you put in during the voting period made it like just really weird because it's very hard to determine who's lying, who's not lying.
Well, yeah, because you don't have any information to go off of.
You have like zero information.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's better. I feel like it was better the way we played. Like
Yeah.
you
That during the
because-
voting phase, you can say whatever you want.
Yeah, because that way you can
Yeah, you can lie.
bluff, lie,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
or catch the liar. But the way we played, I was like, I felt like I was in the dark 90% of the time, and it wasn't like
Yeah, because you have no
If I-
information to go off of from anyone.
little zero.
Yeah. That makes it tough. It makes it tough when you're trying to. That's the whole point of the game.
Yeah. So yeah,
All right.
did that though. Then we played some other, whack the person beside you game, which not a fan of that game. I'm over it.
Oh yeah.
It's a game where like you
I
choose a
remember that
hero
one.
and you have to kill. You have to like fight the person next to you.
You fight Ollie.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't get it.
You got bashed on by another barbarian, didn't you?
No, I mean
You did.
I just don't get it.
You got bashed
I don't
on
get
by
it.
a barbarian.
By a paladin.
I knew it. I knew it was something like that.
I was the dwarf barbarian.
Oh. Well,
Well, yeah. Anyways,
anyway. All right. Well, Ollie, we also had a question of the week last week. Of all of the guilds in Ravnica, which of the guild would you like to have a pet from? Which one has the best pets? 59% of you said Selesnya, which was my pick. 28% of you said Izzet, which was Ollie's pick. And 13% of you said other, mostly coming from Simic.
yeah, I should have just picked Simic. I think
You would have had a better shot.
for sure.
But I think Selesnya was the clear choice. They just have all the animals. They got them all. Whatever animal you want, except for
They
Drakes.
have all the good boys.
They do have all the bestest boys.
Yeah.
All the goodest boys. They have all those.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we want to remind everyone listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play Music, Spotify, please leave a 5-star review or a short text review, as well as subscribing to those channels to make sure you can get all of our Thinktwice episodes as they come out, specifically on YouTube. You want to make sure you're subscribed to that because we not only do we have Thinktwice a show, but we also have Journey of Discovery, which is my free-to-play MTG Arena series. Ollie is posting all of his brew streams on our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/thinktwicemtg. So you get triple coverage. You get the podcast,
all the value.
all the value. You get the podcast, and then you get both parts of content. I'm doing two episodes a week. Ollie is, I guess he's streaming about 4 times a week, at least.
Yeah. And then I'm highlighting like competitive leagues and stuff. I'm not putting the whole stream up there because it's kind of like
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, so that's a 7-hour episode.
jumbled.
Yeah,
I'm just putting like highlights of the stream up.
that's good. And of course, if you want to support the show further, you can go to patreon.com/thinktwicemtg. We have a lot of great reward tiers, including our $1 Augur Bowls tier. It's the best value one. Gives you early access to the show, gives you access to our Discord channel, which is great. They helped me make a Legend of Zelda themed commander deck for Commander Versus last week. And you also get a pair of Ollie and Justin tokens. Now, before we go on, we have another short update. And that is, we are going to be going to SCGCON. The entire Thinktwice crew, myself, Ollie, and Director Che. And we are going to ask a few things of you guys because we, after the last one, we really want you guys to be a part of the show. So what we're going to do is we are going to go and we're going to have a live mic and a recorder, and we are going to be asking you guys questions out on the floor at SCGCON. Now, we're going to have specific times that we're going to ask these questions. We're going to tell you that probably next week, and then we'll make sure to post that in Patreon and Discord and all social media channels. But we're going to be asking you guys questions, question of the week types questions, and then we'll give you guys an opportunity to ask us a question. So if you have a question you have been wanting to ask Ollie and I, and we will answer it live right in front of you, record it, and then we're going to make an episode out of all of these questions and answers. So you guys should definitely be prepared for that. If you're not going to be attending SCGCON, if you are at least a Patreon supporter at any tier, we are going to be getting some question and answers from the Discord as well. So you definitely want to check that out. So just a heads up for everybody to prepare for the next couple of weeks.
Do it. Prepare your questions.
Yes. All right. Ollie, anything else
bring your play mats
before we get to prepare your play mats. We'll prepare our Sharpies.
Yeah.
Anything else before we get to the first topic?
I'm ready.
Great. Well, speaking of SCGCON, as all of you know, I designed the cube that is going to be used at SCGCON, which I'm very, very excited about. The list released this week on StarCityGames.com. You can check out my article there. But we're going to take a quick look at the SCGCON. I'll go over some of my thoughts and let Ollie ask me some questions. So we're going to take a quick break and be right back with that. So this is the week. The SCGCON cube. The list is public. It's live. All of my hard work poured into a spreadsheet where everyone can pick it apart and tell me why I'm wrong. My favorite part about releasing any cube list.
Yeah. Have you? I had a question. How are you gonna hand off that trophy?
Dude, did you see the picture of the trophy?
Yeah, it's a cube.
It's a cube. That trophy is like 12 pounds.
That's what you wanted. I remember last time you said, I want a cube.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a cube.
Yep.
And heavy. Just a cube.
It is. They got exactly what I wanted. That thing is real. And 12 pounds might not seem like a lot. You're like, oh, 12 pounds, that's like a baby. A fat baby, but a baby nonetheless. Well, this thing is not baby sized.
One hand.
Yeah, it's very small and it's very dense. You can't see from the picture, but it is. Not everyone could easily like hold this up like above their shoulder for very long.
Don't throw it at anybody. They'll die. Don't throw it at anybody, or they'll die.
You would definitely kill someone if you hit someone in the head with this. If you threw it at them, you would kill them. I'm not even joking. Like you would kill. Like,
I know.
You would definitely kill them. If you drop this and it hits your foot, you're going to the hospital.
Oh man.
No, I'm serious. Like you're definitely breaking toes or a bone in your foot for sure. There's no way around it. It's just too heavy.
Absurd. It's absurd.
And it's most like, I mean, there's 8 points on it, so it's likely you're gonna hit one of the points. Yeah, this thing could do some damage.
Yeah.
But it's very exciting time for me. As a lot of you know, a lot of you know me probably from Commander Versus. But before Commander Versus, I wrote cube articles for Star City Games from 2011 to 2014. Before I transitioned over into Commander as kind of my primary format of focus for content. So I guess I'm trying to say I'm not a spring chicken here. Like this is not. I didn't just wake up one night and was like, 360 cards that I can think of off the top of my head. No, I designed this list with a lot of specific purposes. I feel like I accomplished all those goals that I set out and tested this cube extensively over the course of about a month and a half. So,
all right. Well, I want to test your knowledge.
All right.
Or your brain.
Okay.
So, how many cards of each color are in each color, or how many cards of each? Wow.
What's the breakdown?
Yes.
What's the breakdown? All right, so the breakdown is it's not exactly even. It's very close. It's very close to even. It's very close to even. But I decided a while ago, kind of in my own personal cube journey, that I realized that was not as important as it's made out to be. And this is someone that has a lot of obsessive compulsive tendencies as it relates to balancing and weighting of things. So it took a lot for me to get to this, but for black, blue, and red, there's 45 cards. For green, there are 44 cards, and for white, there are 46.
Okay.
Let me see. Nice. I actually have the data. I have the data pulled up right here. To be more specific, 38 multicolored cards, 47 colorless cards, and 50 lands, which equals 360.
How'd you get those numbers?
So, I had some percentage points that I wanted to hit that I think is important for a cube to be able to function like a standard limited environment, which is what I was going for. Like I'm not going for the vintage cube that's on Magic Online, where the goal is to kill your opponent by turn 3 in a variety of ways.
Yeah.
You know, I want to kind of create the most fun limited environment. And because of that, there were certain percentages of the cube that I wanted kind of each card type to hit. So creatures is a large portion of that. And then, of course, everything else broken down equally, specifically with lands making sure they hit a certain amount and planeswalkers making sure they do not hit a certain amount. So creatures needed to be at least 35% of the cube, roughly a third of the cube. Planeswalkers needed to be under 5%, and lands needed to be at least 12.5%. And the reason for this is to ensure that there's enough interaction between players. People can play what they want with the lands. And by limiting the number of planeswalkers, it ensures that you don't have too many mid-rangey planeswalker battles. Because planeswalkers are obviously very powerful. The most powerful card type, in fact, on average. So you got to make sure to limit those and their ability to kind of take over the games, because they'll do that fairly easily.
Oh yeah, I agree. I mean, they're the worst thing to see on the opposite side of the table anytime you're playing a normal limited environment. Exactly.
And of course, there's all sorts of ways to interact with them in this cube, but even still, you still want to limit the number of them that exist from a design perspective.
Yeah, I can understand it. I can understand that, especially since, like, in limited, you have a ton of creatures to block and protect your planeswalker.
Yes,
and that makes it even more powerful. So
exactly.
So, did you exclude like any cards? Like, obviously, this is a powered cube, right?
It is a powered cube. Yep, 360 card powered cube. It doesn't have Time Twister in it, but that's not because it's too good. It's just not good.
Not good.
Yeah.
Did you exclude any card because it was too powerful? Or he obviously did, or not fun cards.
Yeah.
Can you name a couple?
Yeah, for sure.
And why?
So the first thing I want to say that I excluded is there's not any 2-card combos. So there's not Kiki Jiki mixed with, Pestrum, really anything that goes with Kiki Jiki to go infinite. There's not...
Is Kiki Jiki in the cube?
No, Kiki Jiki's not in the cube.
Okay.
So you have a couple of cards that would go infinite with it, but there's no Kiki Jiki to take advantage of that. There's no Time Vault, Voltaic Key. There's not things that end the game upon assembling
two cards.
2 cards. Yeah, exactly. So, and that's more of I want the cube to be interactive rather than because they're too strong, because in some cases those aren't always too strong, but in some cases they are. Yeah. But specifically, there actually are a handful of cards I did exclude because it's too strong, and the most notable of those is Wormcoil Engine. And Wormcoil Engine is a card that you and I have talked about a lot as it comes to cube and just design in general. Ollie, when we made our custom cube years and years ago, 7 years ago, Wormcoil Engine didn't exist yet. And when we saw it, we were like, well, we we never would have made this card because people would have said it's too ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember us when we were designing our custom cube. Like we were like one of the first pioneers to do it.
Yep.
And people were just saying, "Oh, this card's too strong. This card's too strong." And now, looking back at our cube, and looking back at cards printed today, I'm like, our cube is like
totally fine.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
And at some points, like almost underpowered. Like
it was a couple years ahead of its time, but then it got blazed right past.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Quickly. Yes.
Yeah.
Especially when people complain about our demon. Sorry, a little small rant. We had a card that cost 8.
Yeah.
When it came into play, it thought sees the opponent and then lets you demonic tutor.
Yeah.
For 8 mana.
5/5 for 8. 5/5 for 5 triple black.
Yeah, it was 5/5. It wasn't even big. It was a small creature.
Yeah.
And then we saw Grizzlebrand. And we were like, all right, guys, everyone shut up.
We
Everyone
didn't even think to do that.
That was a 7/7 lifelinker that pays 7 draw 7. So yeah. But anyways, creatures, planeswalkers, everything has way surpassed almost everything in our custom cube. So.
Yeah, for the most part. So back to Wormcoil Engine. Wormcoil Engine is enemy number 1 to aggressive decks. And even though every color has cards that has tools to deal with Wormcoil Engine, they have to have them that turn.
The game's over.
Yeah, you got to have it that turn, or the game ends. So Wormcoil Engine is just not fun. It is the single. It's like if you exclude power, so all the Moxen, Black Lotus, Ancestral Recall, Time Walk. It's basically the best. It was the best card in the cube because there's not a situation where you don't just take it when you see it. In every single deck.
Especially in the Fair Cube, which
this is.
This is. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to have a balanced limited environment, and Wormcoil Engine
is balanced, but it's pushing it. It's really good.
I mean, I don't think it is balanced, but that's neither here nor there.
Sure.
So Wormcoil is the most notable card that's excluded. Okay. And then there's other cards that create unfun play patterns. Cards that I like that I actually have in larger cubes. Ashiok, Nightmare Weaver, which is a card that I love, but this cube is made for coverage to a degree. And Ashiok can be an unfun card. And Ashiok and cards like Ashiok can be unfun cards to see, so...
Okay.
So that's out. And I think those are probably the only ones that were excluded based on strength.
Okay.
On their own.
All right. So, do you wish you could play in this? Can you try to qualify for it or no?
I'm working, so I can't.
Okay. So you can't. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you hope anything will happen after this tournament with the cube? Like, do you hope people will have more cube tournaments, or do you think people maybe this will be something else will happen next SGCON?
Yeah.
Or do you think maybe it'll go to possibly Magic Online? Do you have any hopes that anything will happen?
Definitely.
Or goals, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Cube is my favorite format, and even more so than Commander. And I want people to see this and be like, wow, that's awesome. Like seeing all the cards. And it's one thing looking at the list of the cards and drafting the cards online, but when you open a pack and you're holding all of Magic's history in your hand, it feels really special. And it's really difficult to replicate that. So I'm hoping that comes through when we're watching the event and people become more interested in Cube because they kind of have this reaction to what they're seeing. Because that's what happened to me when I watched Cube for the first time. I was like, wow, that seems so awesome. And it is awesome. And Cube has struggled from a content perspective for a little while because the barrier to entry, both as a Cube designer, is high, and as someone to make Cube content is high, because there's two different ways you can look at it. You're looking at it from a drafter perspective, which is, 95% of people, and then 5% of people are people that have their own cubes or design cubes. So basically getting more people interested, maybe will allow content for Cube to flourish, which could maybe let this kind of become more of a regular thing. If not just for what Star City Games is doing, because obviously I hope that's going to be the case, but just in Magic in general. So I think there is a lot more than people think there is riding on this event, both not necessarily from how it goes, like who wins, but the number of people that watch the event is going to be really important. The number of people that try to play in these qualifier events is going to be really important. And if it doesn't seem like people care, then it's not going to come back. And that would make me sad because I put a lot of time and effort into this. But if it does well, then who knows?
Right. I wish you'd somehow do it at an open. Just play Cube Draft or Cube Sealed or something.
Yeah.
One day, maybe.
It's tough. Limited's tricky. But I tell you this: if I ever think there's an idea that's good that I can sell, I'm going to try to do that.
Okay. All right. So one last question I have for you.
Okay.
Obviously you said you don't want 2-card combos, or because you want the games to be interactive and people to actually play Magic. So what kind of archetypes do you have? Like, is it just aggro, control, mid range, or do you have some combos going on? Or so. Yeah,
they're a little bit of both. So I mean, what I like to always define is kind of what happens when you draft certain things. And the easiest way to determine that is what happens when you draft certain colors. So I always think every cube needs to, standard cubes that have roughly even distributions of colors and multicolored stuff and, mana support. All of those cubes should have about at least 15 archetypes. And 15 is the number you get from, obviously, one of every color, and then one of every color combination. So white, blue, black, red, green, and then all of those colors mixed together in 2 color combinations. So to try to put it simply, white and red, in general, if you have monocolored of those decks, those are going to be the aggressive decks. There's not any aggressive black cards. Well, I don't want to say that. There's not any 1-drop creatures in black.
Yeah, no Carnophage or anything.
There's no Carnophage, no Vampire Lacerator. And the reason for that is I don't want to trick people into thinking that black
archetype is good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. I don't want to trick people into thinking, oh yeah, this is probably supported and it's going to be good. If you want to try to attack people starting on turn 1, you need to be in white or red. So
I agree with that. The black aggro creatures in Magic history are just
they're getting better, but there's not enough of them.
Yeah, they're still light years behind white and red.
Yeah, black has one of the best 1-drop creatures in history, but it's only one. It's Gravecrawler, but Gravecrawler needs other support and needs specific support.
Yeah, it's very narrow. It's very narrow and a hard bridge to climb. So
yeah, and not only that, it's in a single card environment. Gravecrawler is great when you have 4 of them. Goblin Guide's great when you have
red, white,
1, 2, 3, or 4 of them.
The aggressive archetype.
So
what else? Do you
anyways, there's not black aggro. Blue is the color of control. If you're mono blue, you're gonna be in a control deck for sure. Green is the color of ramp. Has a lot of mana creatures. Has a lot of kind of land searchers, Farseek, Kadamas Reach, Cultivate, and then of course has fatties at the top end. Right. And black is the mid-range color. Black is actually probably the worst monocolored deck, but one of if not the best support color. So it does a very good job. It does a very good job at ensuring that all the other colors kind of have their gaps filled in at some point. So black is a little rough on its own because it doesn't have a strong identity. It's very mid-rangey. But like I said, it's black's role is as the best support color, which I think it does very well. So I don't want to go into all of the archetypes individually, but every 2-color combination has an archetype that's kind of specific to how those 2 colors interact. There are a few kind of specific, I guess, side archetypes that you can kind of mix in between colors.
Side quests.
Yeah, there's some side quests which are in my opinion the most fun. Like with build around me cards. So one of the things my favorite part of this cube is I put in a really strong token sub-theme. And that the token sub-theme largely spans across white, black, and red. But there are payoff cards in every single color. So in white you have like Intangible Virtue, which is an outrageously powerful card if you're making tokens on a regular basis. Black has a lot, actually. Black has Braids, black has Zulpor Cutthroat, black has Blood Artist. Red has Goblin Bombardment, which is also very powerful. Colorless even has Smokestack. And then blue has Opposition, which is incredibly powerful. And green has Gaia's Cradle, which is also incredibly powerful. So there's a lot of support for tokens, and you can kind of mix and match between white, black, and red, and get into kind of the tokens deck, which takes you on a slightly different path than some of the traditional aggro decks, although you're most likely going to mix in some elements from that too, based on the draft, of course. So
right.
That's a really fun archetype. It's probably the black-red sacrifice deck is probably my favorite singular archetype in the cube. If you kind of realize no one's fighting you for that. Like basically, in pack 1, if you see like a Blood Artist come like after 10th pick, that's going to be open, and you're going to be able to get a bunch of goodies. And when that deck is kind of built unimposed, it can be one of the most powerful decks, and it's definitely one of the most fun to play. So that's one that I like quite a bit. Reanimator is another one. Obviously, Reanimator's in most cubes, and that kind of spans over blue and black, and even red to a degree. The Reanimator deck kind of crosses over with the Artifact deck, which is also largely in those three colors, where you basically have tools where you have multiple cards that interact with either large creatures in black or artifacts specifically in blue and red. So those are two of the kind of the hidden archetypes, and you can definitely kind of choose your own path between those. You're not forced into a specific 2-color combination because there's multiple ways to kind of interact in both of those.
Yeah.
One that I want to point out specifically of a 2-color combination that was really tough initially, and I guess I created a solution for it, was white and green. White and green doesn't have like a fun archetype. And I tried really hard, but it's just their cards are all like they're like the only one that's like a fun thing is like Knight of the Reliquary, but there's not enough support in white at all to do that. Like white
they're just like their guild, Selesnya. Boring.
Yeah, I mean honestly, pretty much. So what I did was I gave white green the most multicolored cards. White green has 7 multicolored cards in this cube.
Okay.
So the payoff for being in white green is you get to have a higher concentration of powerful cards because there's just more of them. So in the cube, there's a couple of sections, like Golgari only has 3 cards represented in the cube. Simic only has 3 cards represented in the cube. Red green only has 3. Blue red only has 3. But green white has 7. Green white has Solid Pride Mage, Gaddock Teague, Kitchen Finks, Knight of Autumn, March of the Multitudes, Dragon Lord Jamoka, and Gavany Township. So if you find yourself in kind of the white-green deck, you are benefited by basically getting all of the tools, because you're going to be able to get all of them.
All right. I do wish that it's so awesome talking about it, but at the end of the day, only 8 players get to play as cube.
I know.
It's kind of pressing. I do wish we could maybe someday we can like have limited events that launch that are cube. Maybe have the cube be like entirely proxy, so there's less worry about it. And then the winner of each like pod gets to go play in a cube tournament or something, because I really want to play cube. Obviously, it's a fun format, but it's only 8 people can. And on top of that, the way you qualify for it isn't through cube-based stuff, so it's
tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
That was something we
tough,
tried, but it's just limited, so difficult for Swiss events. Like it's just not made for it.
It's also time-consuming.
Yeah. It's just not made for it, unfortunately. But like we said at the beginning, the more success this has, the more likely you're going to get more cube stuff in the future. So, for those of you listening, if you're going to be at SCGCON, I would say play in those qualifiers. And if you're not going to be at SCGCON, watch the stream. At least watch the cube stream. It's going to be awesome. We're also we're doing something a little special for it, which I don't know if we've announced it yet, so I'm not going to say it here. But
yeah.
But it's going to be something really cool. So you should definitely check that out. But
right, awesome.
That's all we're going to talk about for the cube today. I'll go into more specifics the week of SCGCON and kind of talk about basically if I was drafting the cube, what I would do. So it can kind of give people an idea if they want to jump on and see what it kind of looks like from the person that's had the most, the most eyeballs and time spent on it. But we'll come back to that in a couple of weeks.
Tips and tricks.
Exactly. All right. Anything else on the SCGCON cube for now?
You tell me.
No, not for now. We'll save those secrets for another couple of weeks. So make people come back.
Okay. All right. Make sure you come back for that.
Okay. All right. In that case, no Magic story this week, but we do have an update for MTG Arena that Ollie and I wanted to talk about. The 5th card timeline and direct challenge. What do we know about them? What changed? We'll be back in just a minute to figure that out. So MTG Arena has finally addressed one of the things that has plagued the community since the announcement of the game. You know what that is?
#Hallelujah. Yes, they named the scorpion Pinchy McStinkbutt.
Yes, exactly. I can't believe it went unnamed for so long.
Me either. And now when you click him, he poofs purple smoke too.
Well, cool. I think you're doing like magic. You're like hitting him with like a little spell. That's what I thought it was.
And he runs away faster. He's like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine. I'm glad that they addressed that. I'm glad he poofs smoke when you touch him now. So
yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's it for our MTG Arena segment. No, just kidding. No.
Side quest before we dive into it.
Yeah.
Why can't we get a Lich Mastery animation? Why can't the screen crack?
Dude, if we can get a little animation from hitting the scorpion, like, come on.
Dude, I just want like my screen, my face to crack and become the Lich on the image of the Lich Mastery. That's it.
I don't think that's too much to ask, to be honest.
No, that looks sweet too. Like, it can be like the screen turns black, and then your profile, whatever it is, like if it's Jace, just cracks and becomes like this Lich. Anyways, big thing that happened. They finally addressed the 5th card issue. They didn't solve it. Like,
well,
they addressed it. They like, okay, we're working on this.
They said that it's high priority.
Yeah, very high priority, and they believe they're going to do the Hearthstone thing where you can't open them in packs if you already have a playset.
Yep.
But they're not sure how to implement that in draft, because in draft you want to open as many planeswalkers and mythics and rares, good rares as possible in draft. So
yeah,
not sure how they'll address it there. I think them just bypassing this whole dusting thing is just making it harder.
Yeah, but they're committed to not doing that.
They are super committed.
Yeah, they're not going back.
They're dead set. Yeah, exactly. It's done. Yeah, it's done. They are not going back. They've come too far to go back on it. So the vault is going to be apparently gone eventually. But what kind of sucks to me is, like, I've opened a lot of fifth cards. I'm sure there's people out there that have done it too.
For sure.
Like a lot. Am I going to be like, compensated in some way, or do I just like rest in peace and get basically screwed over because
I think you're gonna be SOL.
And that's kind of crappy.
Yeah.
So like the money I've invested in Magic, I should have just waited until the game came out of beta. Apparently,
like I don't have any hard evidence.
Right. But I'm saying that's going to create a feel bad. So if someone at Wizards listening, maybe compensate the people that like that haven't too a lot, or that bought gyms and bought a ton of packs or something, because like it like that's just a feel bad. I mean, there's no other way to go about it. Especially since they took out a rare slot in the vault. Or it used to be 2 mythics. It used to be like 2 mythics, 3 rares, and
no, it was only ever 1 mythic. It was
1 mythic, 3 rares.
1 mythic, 3 rares, 4 uncommons.
Yeah, now it's 1 mythic, 2 rares,
3 uncommons. Yeah,
come on, that thing's hard to fill up anyways.
I haven't even busted one open yet.
Yeah, it's just mythic, 2 rares, and 3 uncommons. It's like, okay. I've busted open because I've had to buy packs because people have donated deck lists that I'm missing wild cards for.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, well, I'll just buy some packs to get lucky and try to open some things. Or I just need wild cards, like I'm missing Vraska Relic Seeker. I need to crack some, so.
Yeah, that's fair.
I mean, at least they did address it.
They did, and I think this is, honestly, given that they're not doing Dust, like they're just not going to do it. There's no point in us even talking about it because it's not going to happen.
No, it's done. I agree. It's too far gone now.
But I do think this is the best. Now, I do think this is the best solution had the solution been implemented, like as the game went into open beta. Because now you have this situation where you have people that have spent the most money on your game that you're screwing over the most.
Yeah, and
that's a good way for them to not spend more money on the game.
Yeah, you don't want to hurt the whales.
Exactly.
Save the whales. Yeah.
Well, they're the people, and they're not the people that are keeping your game afloat, but they're the people that are literally giving you the most money. Just straight up. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the ones that are, just throwing money at you.
So, I do think this is a good solution, given the constraints that they've placed upon themselves. And going forward, I'm sure it'll be great, but we're gonna have a little growing pains when they implement it. And speaking of that, go ahead.
I was gonna say also they haven't addressed the wild card thing. Where like you have 5,000 uncommon wild cards and 10,000 uncommon wild cards, and like it's just too many. I hope they address that too, where you can upgrade, because I've literally just what I've done is I've crafted every single uncommon and common from Guilds of Ravnica. So that when I open a pack, it goes to the vault.
Yep.
Because otherwise, I have no reason to have all these wild, uncommon cards. So maybe it goes to the vault and then crack the vault and get a mythic or something, or rare.
Yeah.
Otherwise, these cards are literally just rotting because I have so many common, uncommon wild cards.
Yeah, and this is something that I've talked about this for like a year.
Yes.
And it's gonna start to become even more of a problem when you're not opening 5th cards. And they can just fix it with being able to trade up.
And what's crazy, like before we complained about having too many mythic wild cards and not enough rares, and now it's like now it's the opposite. I'm literally sitting at like 40 plus rare wild cards and like 0 mythic wild cards.
Yeah, wow.
It's kind of wild.
Card.
Aha.
Yeah. So speaking of the timeline, they said this is going to be completed in Q1 of 2019. So, to me, that means March. Because I just don't believe it's going to happen by January. I just don't.
All right.
I wish it happens January 1st. Hope we wake up and it's like extra Christmas morning, and this is implemented, and they have all of our answers, but that's just not going to happen.
Do you think they will ever implement, not say foils, but some sort of animation?
Yeah.
As foils?
I think you have to.
What do you think it'll be? Like, do you think the card will just be animated instead of being foil?
No, I think they'll be foils.
foil just looks bad, I think.
It's got to be something. Because I mean,
even Hearthstone foils are like foil, but they're animated. Like the cards move when they're in foil.
Yeah.
Even Hex had that too. The cards, instead of being foil, were like animated. They moved around and like, or full art or something. They looked cool. Because like I feel like Magic Online just being foil, it looks glossy and just doesn't look good. Like foils do not
Magic
look
Online
good.
Looks awful.
Well, foils in general on the program itself look awful.
Yeah.
I think they'd be like animated or have a special animation or something else.
Yeah. It's a lot to animate. I mean, there's so many more cards in Magic than there are Hearthstone. Like by leaps and bounds.
Right.
There's like twice as many every year.
Well, sure. But make sure like maybe when you play it, it has like a small extra animation when you play it. Like I don't know.
Yeah, that would be cool.
It flashes or something.
And maybe they won't. Maybe there just won't be. That just seems like another way for them to make money. Like honestly.
Yeah, I agree.
But
I mean, I understand that that's probably like that's like not that important right now because it's just
you have legitimate
cosmetic
issues, not.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I think honestly, I don't think there's that many more issues with after they did this update with the game. The other thing that happened is direct challenge. You can now play against people.
Yes, but still no friend list. But you can direct challenge.
Friendless is coming.
Right.
The fact that we have direct challenge at least lets me know it's like, hey, this is right around the corner.
Yes, but direct challenge is still kind of like almost like annoying, hard to do. Like you have to like have a code, put the code, challenge, give your friend the code, put them with the code, and challenge. It's like it's much harder than like right clicking your friend's name and going to challenge. You know?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Probably by quite a bit, honestly.
It definitely is. It's been a lot easier for like it's been sweet for honestly the plus side to that though. It's been sweet for when I stream. I can like challenge viewers.
Yeah, that's cool.
Without having necessarily add into a friend list and then having like 1,000 friend list or whatever.
Yeah, where you just would not be able to have everyone on the friends list.
Exactly. Yeah.
It'd be impossible.
Yes. Yeah. That is one like upside. That is an upside to the way it is now. So.
Well, I mean that won't change because you'll still be able to direct challenge people. I think without having them as friends.
Yeah.
Because I mean, there's no reason they would remove that functionality.
But just add though.
But it will just be much easier with friends.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, this is probably a good time. Obviously, Ollie and I have tried to integrate MTG Arena into our making content for the show. With Ollie with the streaming, me doing the journey of discovery YouTube series, and we haven't really like utilized direct challenge as something that we've incorporated to the show or the way that we make content directly. So if there's something that you guys want to see with that, like with Ollie and myself, then let us know what that is. Like we're open to suggestions for sure.
Yeah.
That's something. If someone has a great idea, then we're open to great ideas. Even though right now it's only best of 1, not best of 3, which I know specifically frustrates you.
Yeah, it's not too bad. At least it's something. Like it's coming. Obviously, they're testing the program out as best of 1. I'm sure just switching the flip to best of 3 isn't that hard.
I mean, you would think not.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a programmer, but I imagine it's not too hard. But who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if they have it for the rest.
Yeah.
All right. So, what else for this update? The update that just happened.
I've noticed. For this update, I also noticed that me playing my cards, like I draw my cards faster, animations are a lot quicker. That's been really nice. The only gripe is still. I understand this is like a pet card and not like. Baneslayer Angel, but Lich's Mastery. I don't know why I said I combined the L in. Anyways, Lich's Mastery. When someone hits you, you have to exile cards from your graveyard, right?
Yeah.
And you have to click. You have to click one card at a time, and then it takes you out of the graveyard. And then you have to click the graveyard and do it again. It's so annoying. Like, so if someone like hits you for 5, you have to click graveyard, click the card, click graveyard, click card, click graveyard, click card, click graveyard, click card. And it's just like
really
it's
annoying.
so time consuming. Yeah. So if someone when someone hits you for like, you know, like 16 or something, it's like
I don't know why they can't do that, because there's other times where there's multi selections. Like if you get settled the wreckage, it's just like, all right, pick up to X cards. It shows you your options, and you just select them. They get highlighted, and then you say okay.
Yeah, I honestly think they're not too worried about it because they probably expect the card like not to see play. It's like not necessarily like a tier 1 planeswalker type card or whatever. So they're just like, you know what, whatever. We'll just let it. It works. It may be optimal, but it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Still frustrating though.
They added,
but graphics are faster. So that was nice.
I noticed that as well. Especially drawing cards that just jumps right in your hand. Like there's not really a delay.
Yes. Yeah.
They added the option to player draw for best of three, which is great. I also think it's totally fine to not have that for best of 1. Like I have no issues with that.
No, I don't think it matters.
Like if you're playing best of 1 and you're upset about not being able to play or draw, you should just play best of 3, and that's the more serious one anyway.
Exactly, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. So leave that. I think that's totally fine. So that's addressed to as far as I'm concerned.
Also in standard, I can't remember a recent standard where you'd want to be on the draw anyways in a very long time. So I think like if you win the die roll, you always want to be on the play. It's very rare that you want to be on the draw. In standard, it's been some years.
Yeah, I don't even have one. Like I'm trying to think of like a corner case in like some sort of mirror match, but
it has to be some sort of like control mirror match.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think, but I can't even think of a specific example.
I think just 5. I think last time it was during Lorwyn, where 5 control. You both are really slow.
You have to hit every single land drop of your whole deck.
Exactly, yeah. And you have no Teferi on turn 5. There's nothing like or search for its content turn 2.
Yeah.
There's nothing like explosive that you're doing early. Like your first play is probably like a Cryptic Command, and that doesn't that card you hold
flashing
forever.
in your Cloud Thresher on turn 6.
Yeah. Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Or you cast a Cool 20 on turn 7. Not even always. Sometimes you wait for like turn 10.
Well, that's not your first play though. Yeah.
Yeah, your first play. I don't know what your first play is. It's Moldrifter, I guess. Divination is your first play.
Sometimes,
in your match. So like,
if you're lucky enough to have an untapped land on turn 3, then that was probably it.
Yeah, I don't even know, but like, that's the only time. That's the time I can recall when I said, yeah, I want to be on the draw. Every other time has been play. So
yeah, there's not many, so I don't have any issues.
It comes more up in sealed, but yeah.
Yes, that's definitely true. All right, so what else are you looking for in Arena right now that you feel like they're lacking?
Well, I mentioned the list mastery thing.
Mm-hmm.
More, and I'd like to see more animations, like even more animations. The fact that like,
and I agree.
The fact that, the Vampire Lord has an animation, the Merfolk Lord has some animation, like uncommons do, and then the rares don't. It's just like, why? There's some cards that like just don't have any animation, and it's sad. Like Revolving Riches, I understand the card is not competitive, but like you aren't catering just competitive players. Like when I play Revolving Riches, let some coins fall from somewhere, or when I trigger the win event, when I trigger the win, let my treasure tokens fly at my opponent's face and break their screen. Like anything, you know? Yeah,
that all sounds great.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have more casual players, and you have like 2-1 gun ho. I'll play the best card. So, animate those small other cards, those small things that you think people probably won't play, but they will play because people want to see that.
I do think they spent more time on animations for Guilds of Ravnica, so maybe as time goes on, that will be the case.
I hope so too. And you are right. They did add more animations total for Guilds of Ravnica.
Yeah.
Like I love the surveil mechanic where you see like the mirror symbol pop up over their deck and you hear the fog noise. Yeah. Then you have the undergrowth mechanic where you see like the green stuff splash from the graveyard.
Jumpstart, when you play the card, it like shoots shoots out of your graveyard with like lightning bolts.
Yeah, and then it shows is it symbol?
Yeah.
Is it symbol on the card?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are all sweet. So hopefully going forward, you're right, and that's why, and then they just like do that.
Yeah, I think they just. I mean, they spent a lot of time on Guild of Ravnica, so I think. I mean, honestly, if it hadn't happened yet for anything that's before guilds, it's not going to happen. Which is, I know it's sad, especially because you outlined a few cards that would be sweet if they had it. But I mean, at least going forward, I think we can expect more.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they won't do either. I do think they should animate some other cards though, like staples, like maybe negate. Just have some sort of little small animation or duress, because those cards are gonna be standing forever.
Yeah, it's true. So. That's true, and you can just keep reusing the animations.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I think staples of standard formats should have a little more animation, and you can't go wrong. People love the animations. Like
no, you really can't. You really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also like to see more cosmetic. Like basically just something that's extra.
That's what what I was getting ready to say. I would actually want I want like sleeves.
Sleeves?
Yeah, I think sleeves would be cool.
Yeah, sleeves. Change the battle board. Change the board to like a different zone, like Amaket, or go to Lorwyn, or go to like you have butterflies flying around for Lorwyn and some fairies, or go to Ravnica. We see the guild, like just whatever. Like just being able to change that by buying it yourself.
Yeah.
Or even having like a special hero type deal, like
yeah, like your hero portrait.
Yeah, like maybe you're Aurelia, and what you say isn't just hello, nice, just it's different.
Basically, we're saying copy Hearthstone.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I mean that was also true for Hex as well.
Yeah,
especially just cosmetic things that your quote unquote whales can just give you more money, and the free to play people can't be upset either because it's
opt in. You can just ignore it if you want to.
Absolutely, yeah. It's literally win-win for everybody, I think.
Yeah, and the fact that you can get gems through quick limited events means that you can get it without spending money. It's just more of your in-game resources, which I think is totally fine.
Yeah. Like
if there was a card back or sleeves that I really liked, and I was like, these are super sweet. I just want to have these. Like, I wouldn't have many, but I'd probably get one or two sleeves that I thought were particularly sweet. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. It's coming eventually.
Yeah. I'll say one thing that does suck though is like some of the sweet animations are on like. I think you're right. Hopefully in the future they will animate all cards. Not just like the best, like they think cards will be competitive. Like the Demonic Betrayal, I think has the best animation in the game
by a lot.
Yeah, it's epic. It's like a skull being cracked open with like spikes going through like an X and has a cool noise. I also think in previous Great Worm has an amazing animation. It's like the best worm animation.
Yeah.
I wish Black Worm had half the animation as that card. But it's not played. Like I haven't seen anybody cast it in previous Worm on MTG Arena. But yeah.
Even something like Seal Away. Seal Away has an animation.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that too. It's like four.
It puts walls. In the like concrete posts.
Yeah, like pillars or something. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. So
basically they put it where Soren is. They just like throw him in the wall.
Put you in the stone. Yeah. So UI. Yeah. So I guess we just I think in the last 3 months, they've done a lot, and I appreciate that, but they need to keep going down that path, and I think we'll be in good shape.
I agree. One more thing I want to see. Last thing I want to see.
All right.
I want to see a tournament thing, constructed with where Teferi is not legal.
Well,
I'm so tired of that guy.
They've been so tired. We got a whole lot of Azorius cards coming down the pipeline, Ollie.
I know. I'm just hoping we get please give us a Dreadbore, just some way to.
Just Dreadbore. Just give us Dreadbore.
No, give us Dreadbore and give us a way to like a 4-mana basically Vraska's Contempt for Planeswalkers, And if you exile them, you also exile the rest in their deck and graveyard in hand. That's what I want. But and it just hits planeswalkers, so it's like a good sideboard card, so that people can people can get punished for just playing literally 4 Teferis in their deck and that's it, because it's so tedious.
How about this card? 2 black, exile target creature or planeswalker. Then, if a planeswalker is exiled this way, search library for all the other ones.
Fantastic. Yes, please. That's
too good?
Also great. I don't think so. No. I think we
it had to be a sorcery, anyways, man. It had to be a sorcery.
Does it?
Yeah.
Dude, Arclight Phoenix and Crackling? No, it doesn't. Dude, people can play Crackling Drake and Enigma Drake and attack it for 21 turn because it maximizes velocity. No, it can be instant. Okay?
Well, you just have Vraska's Contempt if you want the instant speed.
I want life 2. We can get 2 life, though. Like,
what I'm trying to say is most of the targeted search people's libraries are sorceries.
Whatever. Power it up.
Okay. All right. It's time to move on. All right. So I recently saw Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about that. All right.
Fantastic Beasts, Parnell, and the Crimes of the Grinch.
Not the Grinch.
Basically the Grinch.
No, it's not the Grinch. It's Gay Wizard Hitler.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically what it was. Actually, that's literally what it was.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not joking.
No, I know. That's what it was.
So we're gonna do
no spoilers.
Yeah, we're gonna do non-spoilers first, then we'll get into spoilers.
Yeah. One thing that I guess this is maybe a slight spoiler, but I had no idea this was a 2-parter. First of all,
it's not a 2-parter, Ollie. It's a 3-parter.
Regardless, you should know this going in, guys. I didn't know this, and then the movie ended, and I was like, "Gosh darn it!" So, yeah, that bugged me. I'm too old. I'm tired of 3-parters and Lord of the Rings type movies. Like, I just want to watch my freaking movie and finish it. Okay.
I mean, I don't disagree for what it's worth.
I can't do it
like
anymore.
At all.
Like,
I don't disagree.
I swear a small tangent rant. Like the way Netflix releases new series, like Orange is the New Black. You can binge watch them if you want. That is the future. That is what we need.
What's the present?
Okay? I mean, it's present, but it's like when DVDs were first printed. VHS still existed. People probably don't even know what VHS is now.
That's true. I bet there are, no, maybe not a lot, but there's definitely at least one person that listens to the show that doesn't know what VHS is.
Or a floppy disk. Anyways.
There's a lot of people that don't know what floppy disk is.
Yeah, that is the future, okay? The future is releasing a series or releasing a movie and not having to wait a year to watch this part 2. I'm over it, okay? I'm over it. Anyways, keep going.
So we're in non-spoilers, and that's not a spoiler, because if you watched Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, you know that this is the start of a new trilogy or series or what have you.
Yeah.
In the Harry Potter universe. Ollie apparently was not privy to that fact.
I forgot, I guess. I don't
know. got caught.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I got.
So, all right, non-spoilers, Ollie. What do you have to say?
Movie was pretty sweet. I thought all the actors were good. I really like the main actor.
Great. Okay, I have a question for you.
What's his name?
No. What was the main character? Who did you think was the main character?
I don't know. The guy with the funny hair and like the animals.
The gigantic mouth.
I like him. I like him a lot for some reason. I don't know why.
Eddie Redmayne. Newt Scamander is his character's name.
He's just a cool guy. He's just very chill, very loving, good heart. I liked him.
Great. So do you think that he was the main character of this movie?
No.
Yeah. We'll get to that in spoilers, but that's one of my problems with the movie also.
Okay.
All right, what else?
I like the action. Like this one, there's not some, like, obviously there's a lot of talking and build up, but I remember watching Harry Potter and like wishing, guys, cast more spells, and this has a lot more magic going on, and I like that too.
That's true. That's definitely true. And I think that is the difference between, for the most part, and that happens like at the end of like the Harry Potter movies and series.
It's always a build up to why you watch the movie to begin with. Like, you watch the movie because you want to see magic, you know,
yeah,
or fiction. Then you always have to build up to it. I like not having to build up to that. So,
and I think that's because like these are adults and this is their everyday life, and they do that in their everyday life.
Sure, I don't though.
Well, you're not a wizard.
I'm not.
Well, that's part of the reason, I think.
Unless I am.
All right. What else?
I don't know, man. But I'm ready for spoilers.
No,
I got a lot to say about that.
Me too. We're just gonna spend a couple more minutes on non-spoilers.
All right, there you go.
All right. I thought the movie looked amazing. Like, it just looks really good, and that's a hallmark of all of the Harry Potter franchise films. Is they all just look fantastic, and this one's no different. All of the CGI integrates just really well with the non-CGI, the practical effects. So, yeah, it's a great looking movie. I think the movie is really well cast. I also like Eddie Redmayne as the main character, Newt Scamander. I also think, even though I don't like Johnny Depp, I think he was pretty well cast as Grindelwald, because he just is. He's not a great guy, and there's not a lot that makes you feel for him in this movie as a character.
No.
And Johnny Depp runs with that. He does a good job. I think Jude Law is fantastic as young Albus Dumbledore, who was my favorite character in this movie by a lot. And as we get into the spoilers, although it's not really spoilers, but the relationship between Grindelwald and Dumbledore is something that's important to this movie. So they definitely get into that, but there's also some things that I don't care about how they did it. So before we get into spoilers, Ollie, what is your rating?
3-star.
Okay.
You?
Also 3.
Okay.
I think the action parts looked really good, and some of the scenes look really great. It's a fun movie, but I have a lot of problems with it.
I do too.
Like, a whole lot, but they're all spoiler related. So
you probably more than me, but yeah. Let's go.
So let's go ahead and jump into spoilers. All right, go ahead. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. All right,
we're in.
Go ahead.
I don't even know where to start. Like, why? Just why?
Why what?
Also, why? Like,
could be anything.
Yeah. First of all, I was confused for the longest time about the kid, the
Credence,
kid, I guess. Yes.
Sure.
And then, it just, like, for me, that was confusing. And I didn't know if they're supposed to be, like, telling the truth about everything, or things were a lie. And then the whole Dumbledore, I thought the whole Dumbledore Grindelwald interaction, or the whole, like, the relationship, was supposed to be, like, open. They made it like, also, like, they made it, like, very hush hush.
Oh yeah.
Which I don't really get. Like, we're in 2018. Like, just say it.
All right. Well, let's talk about that, because that was my biggest issue with the movie by a ridiculous margin.
it made me scratch my head because like I feel like it's like a. Go ahead. You go ahead. You start. No, I'll start. I'll start. It made me feel like it made me feel like it's a bad thing. Like,
Exactly.
The way how they said it and like they beat around the bush around it, and it was like, just say it. He was your lover. He was your boy. He was your whatever. Like, we were closer than brothers. Shut up. Okay, just say it.
It's insulting.
Okay. It is insulting.
Yeah.
It literally is insulting. Like, we're in 2018. Just say it.
Okay. So
it pissed me off.
that was my biggest part. That was my biggest issue with the movie. And I went to go see this movie with Meredith and Levi. Levi's 11. And that's actually, I bring that up a lot and sometimes make reference to how I feel like the kids enjoyed the movie, but this is actually a really important part for this particularly. So in Harry Potter lore, Dumbledore and Grindelwald were lovers. They're both gay. Specifically Dumbledore, because we know significantly more about his character through the regular Harry Potter, story. And
Harry Potter whatever universe.
Yeah, Harry Potter universe, and we know that Dumbledore and Harry and Grindelwald, through the original Harry Potter story, were lovers, and the Dumbledore's gay. In this movie, they never say it directly. The entire time they dance around that. And I understand that the setting of the movie takes place in a time where that's not accepted, wizard, not wizard, whatever, but that's not the point. As a movie that you're making in 2018, you don't have to be beholden to that, beholden to the time period. You can make sure that you let the viewers know that this is clear. Make it clear that these are who these characters are, because it's really important to their characters.
It definitely is.
Yeah, like hugely important. This is a gigantic important piece of their life, specifically Dumbledore.
It explains the blood pact and everything, like why they would do it. Now just hey, let's just make this pact where we can't hurt each other for no reason. Like, come on.
So that it pissed me off so much because I think it's cowardly.
Absolutely.
That you could not come out and say it. And I'm going to hold J.K. Rowling as the person responsible, because she's the person signing off on these movies, saying this is okay, this is not okay. You put that in. Stop being a coward and just say it. Just say it out loud. Say that they're gay. It's okay, and it's fine if you have a man that loves another man. And
she wrote this. Like, she knows this. So why dance around? Like, you wrote the characters this way. Why are you backtracking now? Like, why are you backpedaling now? Like, what's going on?
Yeah. And
that pissed me off.
The worst part was, I was talking about it with Meredith, and she was like, I didn't really think about that. And I was like, they literally never said it.
No, never.
You have an opportunity.
I noticed it.
I did too. You have an opportunity to have this platform that reaches millions of people. And you have the opportunity to send a message that this is fine. This is not a big deal. You don't need to think this is weird or something needs to be secretive. And instead you do the opposite. When we came out of the theater, I told Meredith, I was like, I bet Levi did not even know that Dumbledore and Grindelwald were boyfriends.
I literally had to Google it to make sure my memory is right. Like, sometimes my memory falters. I was like, wasn't Dumbledore gay?
Yep.
Let me double check this.
Yep.
And I did, and I was like, okay, this is. And then Googled it and found out. And that's actually one of my questions that I had on here for show notes to ask.
Yeah.
But I Googled it first, and I was like, okay, I was right.
No, you're totally right.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, I bet Levi didn't even know that. And she was like, maybe not. I guess they did dance around. I was like, yeah, they definitely did dance around it.
Oh yeah. I don't think you'd know otherwise. I don't think you'd know. Like,
so
they said brothers, closer than brothers.
We asked him this morning at breakfast, and he was like, what? He's like, they were? I was like, yep, they were. And we have to say, not that this is bad as parents to be able to, say to your kids, but we were like, well, and that's okay. This is just the person that he loved. It doesn't matter that it's another man, because you can love whoever you want to love, and it doesn't matter. But the fact that we just saw this movie where they should have said that, and it's not like we're saying, oh, we want media to teach our kids, but you have an opportunity where it's a plot point and you are too scared to say it. And that's embarrassing for the people that made this movie. They should be embarrassed that they didn't do that. That they're cowardly.
I agree with you.
It's so much that they're scared to say in a major motion picture that two of their main characters are gay.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, I don't know who I was supposed to care for in the movie. So
Great question.
Yeah,
and that kind of goes to my question of who is the main character.
Yeah,
because it's Newt, kind of, right?
Kind of.
He's the really. Character you follow the most, but he's not the character that you care about the most.
Yeah, I think it's the boy.
Credence,
which is weird because yeah, but he's like he has the least amount of screen time.
Yeah, or is it Dumbledore?
Yeah, I think it's Credence.
Yeah, but I mean, point being, like, it's unclear.
Or is it Grindelwald?
Or is it Grindelwald? Or is it Gay Wizard Hitler?
Yeah, yeah. Like, you saw a lot of screen time for him, and yeah. I don't know.
Other issues I had. Why is this called Fantastic Beasts at all? There's barely any Fantastic Beasts in the movie.
I think they had to throw that cat thing in there just to stick with the name.
I totally agree. I think that's exactly what that was.
Yeah. Otherwise, there's nothing really.
It did have that one sweet scene when they're in the archives and they're basically getting hunted down by the demon cats.
Yeah.
And he goes to get it. And that was cool, but they definitely just put that in there because it's like, oh, we got to have some kind of Fantastic Beast. Because in the first movie, there were a lot, and that movie was way different. That movie was like fun. It was very lighthearted. It wasn't dark the whole way through. And this movie was just wildly different. Like, there was no laugh. There was like no laughs in this movie.
Yeah, there was no lighthearted characters.
No, nothing.
Yeah. It was kind of messed up, actually. Like the person that was like the comic relief in the last one, the bigger guy.
Yeah.
That was with the girl. I can't remember his name. About names.
Anyways, Jacob.
He was like enchanted, coming right in. I was like, what the crap? Like what's going on? Like it just felt like very like question mark. Anyways, but yeah, she was crazy. I agree with him.
Well, yeah. I mean, she kind of proved that at the very end.
Yeah.
And I don't generally like the concept of men calling women crazy, because I think that gets thrown around very frequently, and it's just a sexist characterization of women often. For this specific point, he's right, but I do see the problem, but the movie did kind of address that. But then it's like, oh no, this person is kind of crazy, regardless of their gender.
She basically mind controlled him, and then
Not
went
basically.
to a meeting. No, she literally mind controlled him.
Yeah.
Then said sorry. They went to a meeting where he didn't want to be a part of. He stayed with her because he loves her. Then afterwards, she's like, yeah, this guy wants to kill humans. Basically, he's beating around the bush, but obviously he wants to kill, get rid of humans,
or enslave them.
Yes. Because, yeah, so I'm going to go with him. Like, what? First of all, you made me sit through this, and now you're telling me you're choosing him over me?
You can't tell me you love me if that's what you're doing.
Exactly. Like, yeah, because that's my mother, that's my father, that's my sister, that's my brother, that's my friend. Like, you can't do that.
That scene is good, but very unsettling. Especially in the where we are kind of in the world now.
No, I agree. And also, why is he so powerful? Like how was wizards born powerful? Like, is Dumbledore just born powerful because his last name is Grindelwald just powerful because he can just born that way? Like, I don't
get it. That's a good question, and they don't really address that.
Never. Does he just he casts one spell, the fire spell, and it takes 20 wizards to fight off after 10 die or more die.
And that's actually one of the things I liked about how Johnny Depp did it. He always looked like he was casting spells so casually, like he's just
super casually,
barely holding his wand, like he's holding it with two fingers, and he's just lightly moving it. It's very different from Voldemort, who was the primary villain,
very forceful, yeah.
And he's very aggressive with the way that he casts spells. like super aggressive, which I think is cool. It works for that character a lot.
Yeah, different characters,
and it works really well for Grindelwald, who's like, he's this suave, charismatic, hate leader.
Yeah, he's persuasive in the worst way possible.
Yes,
but like, yeah. Cult leader.
He is cult leader,
basically. Yeah.
Or I mean, he is. There are a lot of parallels with Nazi Germany here in how he was presenting everything, and
so at the end,
his characterization.
So at the end, a big bomb was dropped where they said that Dumbledore has a brother. Right?
Yeah, I mean, was it? I mean, that was a big bomb. I'm not disputing that. But I mean, do we know that that's true, or is that just something that Grindelwald is saying?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it's a lie.
Yeah, I think it is too.
I actually think, speaking of how Voldemort casts his spells, I think that's Voldemort, because the way he launched that spell at the mountain or at the window was similar to Voldemort. It was very, very forceful, very like, it was powerful, but it's also very like not gentle at all.
I don't. Yes, I mean that's true. I don't think it is though, but that's also another thing I'm going to bring up.
Okay. Also, what made me go there too was how his girlfriend at the time was cursed to become a snake.
Nagini, which is another thing I'm going to bring up. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So I don't want to.
I do think. Sorry, I do think he's lying. I don't think he's actually Dumbledore's brother.
No, I don't think he is either. But Nagini ultimately turns into Voldemort's snake. And we're led to believe prior to this movie that Nagini was turned into a snake by like some spell, not that she had a disease that made her eventually turn into a snake.
Yeah, curse or something, yeah.
And I thought I didn't care for that because it's like you're making us feel bad for this character just because. I don't know. And I just feel like another thing with this movie is this happens sometimes. This happens frequently in comic books. It even happens in Magic when a property takes a little tiny bit of something. Magic, it happens often with flavor text. Like there's someone that's quoted flavor text on a card, right? And then people are like, oh, we want to hear more about this character. And then it's like, oh, now guess what? This character is randomly important. You didn't know before, but then they just got introduced in the story and they've been important all along. You should know about it. I feel like that's what's happening here. Like for people that like are Harry Potter fans, and I consider myself a Harry Potter fan. Like they're throwing out all these like last names and names. You're like, oh, I know that. Oh, I know that too. Oh, I know that. Stop making everything something. Like not everything has to be something. Not everything has to be something we know of or like have heard of before.
Well, speaking about that, I am not a Harry Potter fan, and this movie had a lot of recall, like you said, like a lot of like
way too much.
Yeah, like you tell me Nagini was Voldemort's snake. Yeah. I had no idea. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I had to Google about the Dumbledore thing. I had to see if it was possible for Dumbledore to have a brother. Like it was just like it's way too much recall.
I totally agree.
And for someone that's like, it's cool for like, it's a cool like Easter egg. Maybe having one of those in a movie, but having like 10, just like. Okay.
And it's literally that many.
Yeah, and it loses me as a person that like likes fantasy, loves seeing like I like Harry Potter, but I'm not like a fan.
Yeah,
I don't call myself a fan of it.
Yeah, you like it because the movies, they're quality, they're well-made movies, but
yeah,
that's a lot for somebody to keep up with. And there was a lot for me. Like I know there are like literally like 10 of those like references. It's like, oh, if you don't know what we're talking about when we say this in this moment, then you're going to miss out. And it's like that's not fair. Like you shouldn't have to go in and you're like, I had to watch these other 9 movies in this film universe to get these references. Like that's not fair to you as the viewer.
I don't like that. I didn't appreciate it.
I agree. And those were like that was another big issue that I had. And honestly, I think it really stands up that the fact that we both had these issues, and I think these are legitimately serious issues. Also, the first act is boring. The first act of the movie is really boring.
Besides the opening scene, yeah.
Opening scene's great. Opening scene is fantastic with him escaping, being moved from New York and then kind of escaping from that. That's great. But then after that, the next 30 to 40 minutes are like, come on, let's get to something.
It's like, come on, please move.
Yeah. I mean, the rest of the movie, the rest of the movie picks up for sure. But the first, like I said, the first act is, it's not good. Slow. Not fun. So the fact that we have all of these issues with this movie and still gave it 3 stars, I think is probably fairly telling about the overall quality of the movie despite this. Yeah,
and how much we like fantasy type of style movies.
Yeah, because this is a world that's put together well, and there's a lot good going on, even though this movie got a lot wrong, and the things it got wrong, it got real wrong.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Okay, I put a show note here about a boat. What was a boat in the movie? I forgot.
Credence was on the boat, and he got switched with...
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask... Okay, oh, yes, now I remember. Thank you. Okay, so Credence got switched at birth. Not birth, but on the boat as a child. And his family, basically, they say his family sent him away to be safe or whatever. And I'm just confused. I wish they told him...
No idea.
Why... Yeah, exactly. Why was he on the boat? Why was he even on the boat?
It's a lot of coincidences for him. He's lived a life of coincidence.
Yeah. Which makes me also believe that there's no way he's a Dumbledore, because if he was Dumbledore...
Yeah, it's a lot of coincidences. And
yeah.
Just a lot.
They would have found him, or they would have known. You tell me the strongest wizard family in history doesn't know that when their child is another child, okay.
Yeah, nah, dog.
Yeah, I agree. And if it turns out to be that, I give up.
Yeah. You know what? I have one more thing before we close. Movies like this make me appreciate the movie The Last Jedi more. Because it kind of does, like, the way this movie was put together is kind of similar to The Last Jedi, where you have a character of unknown origin that is struggling with being good or bad. There's people fighting for both sides. There's a lot of references, but they don't force you to know them to miss out on the movie or not. It pulls characters from the past and it shows you a different look at them. And ultimately, the arguably the best short scene in The Last Jedi. Spoilers for The Last Jedi, but it's been out a year now, I think. You should have seen it if you want to see it. But the scene in the throne room after Rey and Kylo fight all of the guards.
Yeah.
And they both hold out their arms, say, "Come with me." And they're shocked that the other person doesn't want to come with them. And then Kylo starts talking about Rey's past. And he's just like, "Well, you know the truth, right?" He's like, you're not anyone. You're not connected to any of these people that are important. You're just you.
Yep.
And that scene is so powerful because that very rarely happens in film. And it's like the opposite of this world. It's like, of course, everyone is someone. Like all of these coincidences that have led this character to this point. Of course, they're this big important part of this big important family or something. And in The Last Jedi, you get to this point and it's revealed it's not. It's literally just this person that happened to find themselves in this situation by extreme happenstance, and they're not connected to something greater. And they went the opposite way with this. Like the complete opposite way. Like every single character you met is someone.
It's someone from family, yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I'm tired of that.
Yeah. I don't like the way it's I don't like that setting.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I'm glad we agreed on pretty much everything about this movie, despite.
It's kind of crazy how we actually had the same problems too.
Yeah, I agree because I had very specific problems, and you had most of the same specific problems.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, that's it then. That's the show for this week. We will be back next week we're gonna watch. We're gonna take it to the internet, out of the theater, and we're gonna be watching 1 week a movie that I'm picking, and then the next week a movie that Ollie's picking. I'm picking the movie Cargo, which is on Netflix. So that's what we're gonna be watching next week. If you want to be joined to that conversation, be sure to hit that up on Netflix sometime over the next 7 days. But that's it. Let's go to question of the week. Be back in just a minute. So you and I didn't talk a whole lot about Ultimate Masters this week, but the full spoiler did come out over the last 7 days.
I saw that.
And the set is even better somehow than everyone thought it would be. So hopefully you listened to my advice on this podcast where I was like, these boxes are not going to be MSRP, and if you can find them for like under $300, you should just get them. I'm going to stick to that, and you can even get them for like $250 or around there now. If you can do that, I'd recommend doing so strongly.
And just hold on to them.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Open them, hold on to them. It's really not. It's not going to matter much. We'll probably. I'm sure we'll circle back around to UMA, but this is gonna change the price of a lot of cards for the better, which I'm always for. But not every single card was put into UMA. They simply decided, they thought about the card, Ollie, that you wanted to be reprinted. They were like, you know what?
Screw Ollie.
We hate Ollie. Lich's Mastery,
Yep.
No animation.
Nope.
So Ollie, question of the week is, what card are you unreasonably upset did not make it into Ultimate Masters?
I'm upset that we didn't get any fetch lands. Okay. Ultimate Masters, that is the ultimate land that's played in every format: Standard, Modern, Legacy, Vintage, Commander, Draft, Sealed, Casual, Cube. Every format. How can you have the Ultimate Master set without fetch lands? You can't. Alright. My vote is fetch lands. You should have had it. I am unreasonably upset that we got no fetch lands.
Yeah. You're actually totally right. Now, this is one of the rare circumstances where we didn't talk about our answers ahead of time.
We did not.
And you
did you pick the same one?
And you also picked fetch lands, which is what I was going to say.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. That's crazy.
Because I was like, what's the most unreasonable thing that definitely could have been in the set that just wasn't?
Yeah. Fetch lands.
And fetch lands is a good one. And it hit most of the other ones too, like all the other cards that are expensive for no reason.
Yeah, it did.
It hit Phyrexian Altar, Phyrexian Tower, Back to Basics. Like cards that are just not on the reserve list that most people think are on the reserve list, but they aren't, and they just haven't reprinted them because they hate people. Fetch lands is a really good one.
Yeah. You cannot have too many fetch lands. Like, these cards are played in
you legitimately cannot have too many fetch lands.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. You just can't. I think it's impossible. No, it's not impossible, but it's very highly unlikely.
All right, so I didn't have a backup because I wasn't sure what you were going to say, but I didn't think it was going to be fetch lands.
That's all right. This is like last time we both agreed on something was a long time ago anyway. So
all right, so I guess it's okay every now and then. All right, I'll also say fetch lands. All right, you know what? I'm gonna say allied colored fetch lands.
No, just say fetch lands. It's fine.
Okay.
We can agree.
Okay, we don't need to split it.
Yeah,
all right.
It's fine.
All right. Yeah, so fetch lands. Yeah, you put everything else in. Put those in too.
Yeah.
Just put them on in there.
You can have ultimate set without fetch lands. Come on, man. Also, those would be pretty as box toppers as well.
Oh, that would have been super sick. Those have been super sick.
Yeah.
Okay, well, took the wind out of my sails a little bit, but you know what? It's okay. It's okay to agree every now and then. Ollie, where can people find you on the interwebs?
You can find me at Twitter /OllieEldrazi, twitch.tv/OllieEldrazi. My articles go up every Friday at coolstuffinc.com. You can find my articles there. And you can find my highlights of my streams, index I'm playing, my brews, on the Thinktwice YouTube channel.
Excellent. You can find me on Twitter at jparnell1, and you can find me on YouTube and StarCityGames.com. I'm the host of the Commanderverse series. You can also definitely check out StarCityGames.com and find the introduction to the SCGCON Winter Cube. That's an article that I wrote this week, introducing everybody to the cube that we talked about this week on the show. I also appeared on an episode of Solely Singleton to talk about the cube in depth over the last week. So you can search Solely Singleton and find my episode for that. I believe it's season 3, episode 8 or 9. I also did a question and answer, which appeared on the MTG Cube subreddit of Reddit. So you can check that out as well. Been all over the internet this week, mostly about cube stuff. You can contact the show on Twitter at ThinktwiceMTG on Twitter. And of course, ThinktwiceMTG@gmail.com. If you want to find the show, you can find it at SoundCloud, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and Spotify, searching ThinktwiceMTG. Please leave us a review if you can. It helps us out a lot. Always, of course, spread the word if possible.
And the gospel. But seriously, guys, we do need, for our YouTube, if you want to support and you can't support, like with that being a Patreon, just hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Just hit the subscribe button. Give us some more subscribers. Maybe we can increase our reach too.
I'm going to be honest. If you listen to this show and you do not want to see either my content, which is the free-to-play Arena series content, or Ollie's brews, I don't know what you want. We have the two extremes.
In one channel.
In one channel.
Without powers combined.
Yes.
We are Captain Planet.
So youtube.com/ThinktwiceMTG. And of course, if you want to support the show further, patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG as well. Early access to the show, tokens, Discord. Speaking of which, we have a Discord Animal of the Week.
All right. It's Captain Planet.
It's my turn.
Okay, it's not
Captain Planet, but I've been moved this week. Physically moved by pictures that I've seen of this animal.
Okay.
And I felt so bad
Oh my god.
that there's only one animal that I can name Discord Animal of the Week.
Oh my goodness.
And that's Maggie.
Oh man.
With the cone of shame. Ollie, you're Maggie. It's why I didn't put it in there, because I wanted to surprise you.
Aw. That's sweet.
Now she won't get it again, but this is the only time she gets to be Animal of the Week.
I'll have to share that. I'll have to share that tweet out the Animal of the Week Maggie count of shame.
You have to, yes. Yeah. Maggie is the official
Maggie.
Animal of the Week. We said we wouldn't allow it, but I just felt so bad.
She's miserable.
Yeah, I felt so bad. I felt like she needed to pick me up. So you can let her know that she's the official Animal of the Week this week.
I will. Hopefully that'll make her heal faster too.
Okay, good. I'm sure that it will.
Yeah.
We want to give a special shout out to our graphic designer, Amber West. You can find her work at amberwestdesign.com. And of course, our director and producer, John Che. You can find him behind the curtain. You'll also be able to find him at SCGCON, which at the top of the show, we let you know, coming to SCGCON, be prepared for questions both to you and from you. We also want to give a shout out to our Agent Balls producers, Daniel Hunt and Matt Lindell. Thank you guys very much for your support. We could not do the show without you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. And yeah, catch you next time.
Yep. Reminder, we're going to do Cargo on Netflix for our pop culture section next time, but that's it. That's the whole show for this week. Ollie, you're the best co-host. Hope Maggie gets better soon. She's looking real cute. Hopefully the Animal of the Week designation helps her feel better.
Yeah, I think it will. Thank you, Parnell. Love you too, buddy.
All right. Love you too. We love you guys as well. Catch you next week.